Hi guys, good evening, or rather, how are you doing? This is Faith, and welcome to my YouTube channel. I focus more on how to handle different situations in Australia as an international student, and more so how to handle different experience as a Kenyan coming to Australia as an international student. Previously, I had told you I'll be doing a 10 series of videos on how to settle in Australia within 10 days. I'm sorry guys for keeping you waiting. There has been a lot that has been happening. Last week I had my orientation as I am a new international student here in Australia. Also I had different interviews to do, and yes, I began my job last week, and so yeah, I'm so much grateful. And despite the fact that I was keeping you around, everything was so overwhelming. Trying to balance going to uni for orientation, going for interviews, and beginning induction processes in the new job. It has been a lot for the week. But anyway, let's dive into what you need to do in your day 3 when you arrive in Australia. So previously we had mentioned a lot for day 1 and day 2. Now we are in day 3. So first things first, when you arrive, you have settled, you have downloaded job application apps, you have written your resume, you're already applying jobs, you already received your PAN cards. Now what next? The next thing is to apply for your tax file number. Tax file number is a very useful number in Australia because this is what employers will require as one of the requirements for you to be employed. So immediately when you arrive in your day 3, apply for that tax file number. We always refer it as TFN. This will help you when you are joining in for a new job and even during your job application process. Yeah, number 2, attend initial trainings. As I said, in day 1, you were supposed to apply for first aid and CPR training, manual handling training. So at this time, by day 3, you will have received your invitation and your booked day, and most likely it will be in day 3. So in this day, attend that training that has been booked for that very day. If it comes in day 4, day 5, you also attend during that time. First aid and CPR is a mandatory thing to have in Australia as an employee, because you don't know, in any workplace anything can happen. Injuries can occur, arms can occur, there might be hazard. So you need to have that first aid and CPR training. It is also one of the requirements that the employers always require when you're applying for the job, or even during your interview, your employer will ask you if you have that training and you already have the certificate for first aid and CPR. Another thing is manual handling training. This is the training that will give you the manual handling certificate. Some employers will require you to provide that certificate, while others may not, depending on the job that you are applying for. For example, if you are applying for maybe aged care job, they might need more of first aid and CPR certificate compared to manual handling, because during your induction process, they will be training you on how to handle different equipments, how to move one thing to the other place. However, for some jobs such as warehousing, they may need that manual handling certificate, because it is more of, although they will provide you with the training, they need you to learn more of intensive manual handling skills from a training provider. So it may not be necessary to have it, but for the sake of applying different kinds of jobs, because this is a new environment and we are trying to catch up with any kind of a job that comes along that we are capable to do, we will be forced to do manual handling training for the sake of, if we find warehouse job or if we find any other job that requires manual handling training. Yes, so ensure you attend those trainings that comes early. If it comes on day 3, attend them and do them, and ensure you receive your certification. Ensure you do that quiz, or what is it, a quiz or a questionnaire? Finish up with it and submit, and ensure you receive your certification within the same day. Yep. Number 3, in Australia there are different shopping malls for different products, for different services. So I would advise you in day 3, at least you have known people whom you are staying with, at least you have interacted with them, and they are more than willing to take you to a shopping mall or a shopping center. So in day 3, ensure you attend 1 or 2 shopping malls, the likes of food market, or any food shopping mall, the likes of Halls in Australia, the likes of Aldi in okay, this I'm mentioning this because I've interacted with them here in Brisbane. So make sure you attend these food supermarkets or food malls, and maybe cloth malls, the likes of Kmart, for you to be able to understand how you use technology, or rather the electronics, to pay for yourself, to pay for the goods, to pay for your services. Because in most of the shopping malls, you are more likely to be doing the shopping by yourself, and you will be paying by yourself. There is less of supermarket attendants. So you will be using the shopping kiosks that are there already put in place, more of an electronic thing, using more of technological thing. So when you have selected your goods, just like any other supermarket in Kenya, you will proceed to that shopping kiosk where you will key in the goods that you've bought and pay for yourself using a card. So make sure you go with whoever will be hosting you, or whoever knows or understands much about that, to be able to understand how those processes run. The reason as to why I'm mentioning this is because in 10 or 15 days, you will have moved out of your host's place, and you need to catch up with life. You will be doing your own shopping. You will be doing your own, okay, you will be buying your own goods, you will be buying your own clothes, and you will be paying for your own services. So make sure, kindly know how the shopping malls works, know how the food malls work. Yeah. And number 4, know how to use different should I call them domestic appliances, or the domestic electronic devices, the likes of washing machine. They are a little bit different from what we have in Kenya, but not that much different. So familiarize yourself to know the difference, and to ensure you work with them effectively. The likes of cookers, the likes of dishwasher, or other utensils washer. So know how to use them, and know the kind of, maybe the soap they are using, detergents they are using to clean the electronic. And even let's say, for example, the washing machine, which detergents can you use to wash your clothes? How can you set the device to be able to work effectively for you? Make sure you learn this as much as you can in your host's place, because when you move out, you will be by yourself, and you need this knowledge to be able to live by yourself. And number 5, learn how to use the core card. As I mentioned earlier, core card is a very useful transport card. It is more of, should I call it, a smart card that you will be using to commute from one place to another when you are using public transport. This is a card that you will use maybe when you are traveling to school, using the train, using the tram, or using the buses. And it is very common in Australia. You will never find someone paying for a bus fare using cash or using your PAN card. They always use the transport card, the likes of core card in Queensland. So make sure you know how to use it, how to tap it on the, before boarding the bus, or before boarding the tram, or rather the train, and after you have reached your destination, how will you tap it for you to be able to pay for your transport using the same card. Also make sure you learn how to load your card, that is how to load your core card. Like if if the call card is running low of money and you need to load it for you to be able to reach your destination, learn how to do that. You can learn that in the train station, or you can ask your host or a friend to let you know of that, to provide you with the information that you need on how to load the card. Although I will still do the video on the same, but before then, if you are here, kindly learn how to load that card. You will need that skill. You will need that knowledge so much, because in many situations, maybe after 1 week, ukiweka $50, after 1 week or 2 weeks, the $50 will be done, and you will have to load your card again. Also, learn how to apply for concession fares. Concession is more of having a half the price of what other people are paying if you are an international student studying on campus. And when you are applying for this, you must have registered like 4 units or in campus, or you have 4 units running as a student. So you have to go for school like at least 4 times, or rather not less than 4 times. If you are doing online classes, maybe you have 2 online classes, or you have 2 physical classes. Maybe you have 3 online classes and 1 physical class, or you have 3 physical classes and 1 online class. So know how to apply for concession. Concession will be so useful to you because it will reduce the cost of your transport if you are using the public transport. Yeah, learn that as much as you can. In fact, you should be learning this thing in the first day because it is useful and it will save you some money. And another thing is to ensure you download transport applications. You will need the likes of TransLink for you to be able to know which train you will be catching. Maybe if you are moving from your home to school, or which bus you will be catching for you to move from your home to your workplace. So there is an application known as TransLink, which you will be using to search which train will be there in the next maybe 20 minutes or by 8 a.m. tomorrow when I will have to attend the class. You will use the same application to check for the bus that will be taking you maybe from your home or where you are staying to the city, or from the city to maybe school, from school maybe to your workplace, and something of the sort. So make sure you download an application by the name TransLink. Yeah. Another application is Uber and Didi. These are more of Uber application. I know we are somehow familiar with them because they are similar. We have had Uber in Kenya. We have had the likes of Wasili in Kenya. So they have the same similarity. Okay, like they have more of similarities with what we have been using in Kenya. At times you might be late to your maybe workplace, and you may not be in a better position to take a bus, and you will require to rush using maybe a Uber or Didi. So I would urge you to download this application because they are a little bit cheaper and fair compared to using taxis around. And also they are efficient compared to using public transport if you are traveling for a shorter distance that requires you to be there within a short time. But if you have enough time to travel, I will advise you to use public transport. If you don't have time and you are rushing to catch up with your employer, to catch up with an interview, maybe it is late in the night and you cannot catch a bus that will take you another 1 hour, you want to reach your place, make sure you download these apps. You just book an Uber and it will come to where you are, and it will take you to the place that you want to be. Something to note today, in Australia, most people use the phrase okay. So kindly get familiar with that before you come, because you will hear a lot of residents here in Australia saying okay and everything. Then another thing to note, almost everything here is more of full of technology. And so when you come here, prepare your mind that you will use a lot of technology. You will use a lot of Google. You will use a lot of your smartphone to do the things for yourself. So if you need anything, maybe you want to know where you want to go, you will just use Google Map. There is no one to ask, naenda wapi, where should I go next? If your employer requires you to attend maybe a certain certification, or they have called you for an interview, no one is ready to take you for that interview. So be ready to use Google Map to the address that has been sent to you. As I mentioned in the first video, address is a useful thing in Australia. So make sure you familiarize yourself as early as now on how to use Google Map while driving to a specific location. And last thing to know, something to note, I've been saying don't come to Australia when you don't know how to drive. Kindly learn how to drive while back in Kenya. When you come here, you will never have time on going to driving school, plus they are so expensive. So be vigilant in Kenya and learn how to drive as much as you can. When you come here, it will be an issue of walking, getting money, buying a car and driving. Don't come here without driving skills. Thank you for listening to this video today. I request you to continue subscribing to my YouTube channel and share it as much as you can with your friends and relatives, and I will really appreciate. See you in the next video for day 4. Bye bye.